Hello, boys and girls. This is our final reading of The Night at Dawn, so we will be reading Chapter 10. We left off reading Chapters 8 and 9 and the things that happened. So Jack and Annie dropped from the precipice, the big protecting wall made out of rock and stone, and they dropped into the moat. While they were in the moat, they heard some splashes behind them. They had no idea what those were. Could have been crocodiles, could have been somebody looking for them, could have been anything. And it also could have been their imagination. Who knows? But once they got out of the moat, they ran into the knight on the black horse, who picked them up and brought them to safety. Brought them to the treehouse, and then Jack and Annie made their wish. And the treehouse, they weren't 100% sure if they had pointed to the right picture of Frog Creek, though. So the treehouse spun, and then it stopped. There was the silence, and I guess we'll find out. Did they make it home, or did they find themselves in another time? Okay, so here we go for Chapter 10. One mystery solved. The air was warm. It was dawn. Far away, a dog barked. "I think that's Henry barking," Annie said. "We did come home." They both looked at the treehouse. They both looked out the treehouse window. "That was close," said Jack. In the distance, streetlights lit their street. There was a light on their upstairs window. "Uh-oh," said Annie. "I think Mom and Dad are up. Hurry!" "Wait." In a daze, Jack unzipped his backpack. He pulled out the castle book. It was quite wet, but Jack placed it back with all the other books. "Come on, hurry," said Annie, scooting out of the treehouse. Jack followed her down the ladder. They reached the ground and took off between the gray-black trees. They left the woods and ran down their deserted street. They got to their yard and crept across the lawn, right up to the back door. Jack and Annie slipped inside the house. "They're not downstairs yet," whispered Annie. "Shh," said Jack. He led the way up the stairs and down the hall. No sign of his mom or dad. But he could hear water running in the bathroom. Their house was so different from the dark, cold castle. So safe and cozy and friendly. Annie stopped at her bedroom door. She gave Jack a smile, then disappeared in her room. Jack hurried into his room. He took off his damp clothes and pulled on his dry, soft pajamas. He sat down on his bed and unzipped the backpack. He took out his wet notebook. He felt around for the pencil, but his hand touched something else. Jack pulled the blue leather bookmark out of his pack. It must have fallen out of the castle book. Jack held the bookmark close to his lamp and studied it. The leather was smooth and worn. It seemed ancient. For the first time, Jack noticed a letter on the bookmark, a fancy M. Jack opened the drawer next to his bed. He took out the gold medallion. He looked at the letter on it. It was the same M. Now, this was an amazing new fact. Jack took a deep breath. One mystery solved. The person who had dropped the gold medallion in the time of the dinosaurs was the same person who owned all the books in the treehouse. Who was this person? Jack placed the bookmark next to the medallion. He closed the drawer. He picked up his pencil. He turned to the least wet page in his notebook, and he started to write down this fact. The same. But before he could draw the M, his eyes closed. He dreamed they were with the knight again, all three of them riding the black horse through the cool, dark night, beyond the outer wall of the castle, and over a moonlit hill. Into the mist. Okay, so here's a picture of the bookmark. Alright, boys and girls, that does it for book number 2, The Night at Dawn. So let's finish our last response journal question. So last question in our blue packet, Chapter 10. It says, "Did you enjoy book number 2? Why or why not?" Okay, so this is an open-ended question. I'd like to see at least one sentence, boys and girls. I think we could write one. I think we should write 2, maybe even 3 sentences. Hopefully you guys have a lot to say about whether you enjoyed it or not, and why. So you could start off your sentence saying, I enjoyed book number 2 because, or you could say, I did not enjoy book number 2 because. So give me your answer. That's one way you could start your sentence, but remember, we need a capital, our words need to make sense, and we need a period at the end, okay? So then go ahead and draw a picture as well to go along with it, and I'd love to see what you guys have to say about book number 2. Alright, so that does it for the Night at Dawn. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will start book number 3 next time we come back for the video, okay?